Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking you on a lap of what I'm going to call the Squires TT. So we just left Squires, turned right, and it's been a busy day at work, so I thought I'd come out and have a little poodle round. I'm on the GSR 750, wonderful bike. I think it's massively underrated. And I just want to show you this route because it's sensational. And the reason I'm going to call it a Squires TT is I think it's about 25 miles, something like that. So nothing like the TT whatsoever. It's a good circuit if you come and you're having a coffee with your friends and you want to sample the best roads within a reasonable proximity to Squires. This one is sensational, it really is. And this road, as you come out of Squires on the right, is worth doing both ways, which we get to do. Obviously the map will be in the description. I'll try not to talk throughout all of it. I don't want to bore you to death. And I'll try and edit it down into something that resembles the kind of riding you should expect. But it's a good circuit with a bit of everything. So if you've got friends that like to go steady and enjoy a bit of scenery, to my left we've got some great scenery. I'll swap the camera onto my helmet on the way back as we loop back so you can see. Now this bit, as you're coming through Sherburn, or Sherburn and Helmet I think it is, it's 30, and obviously they have to put with bikers. It's 365 24/7, so I try and respect it. You know, I try and do at least 30, well sorry, a maximum of 30. Try not to let the bike rev out and just not bore them to death with the drones, because I'm sure it drives them crackers, and obviously you got to show a little bit of respect, so try and take it steady through here. But as you come through here, you pass the church on your left, which we've just passed. We take a left. Now there is a keen straight shortly, so you'll get to the national speed limit sign and then there's a straight. Just make sure there's no camera vans if you decide to speed, because it's a common spot for them to sit and wait. And this circuit, it says on Google Maps, will take you a couple of hours. I think an enthusiastic pace, which is what I'm going to be doing tonight. I'm not going to speed, but I'm also not going to hang about. I think it'll be a lot less than that. So there you go. No, I'm not. That's not set up for camera, boys and girls. And I don't know if that is a camera van, but there's a van up there. But yeah, this is a popular spot for the police to park up. They don't usually put there. There's something else. That's not necessarily something. That's not right. They normally park up just to the side somewhere. So maybe this is hopefully not an accident. Oh dear. Oh, I see. Thank you! Oh dear. Oh dear. He's obviously made a mistake. Obviously it's his work lorry, so he won't give a shit. I'm only kidding. I bet he's devastated. Anyway, so this road is it's very technical. Is this? It might not look it on the camera. You know, things are never the same, but it undulates. If you are doing the national speed limit, as you come round here, it drops away from you. But don't worry, it comes back, and then there's a little kick out here, just that sets you up into this corner. And it's really nice, fast-flowing road. Is this? It's a beautiful piece of tarmac, always looked after. Lots of bikers, lots of cyclists. There are a couple of junctions coming into it, which are farmers' houses, that sort of stuff. It's a place that I would say is common for people to be chopping the white line, so, you know, being like this on the white line, so I would stay away from it. And what I mean by that is, if you've heard of the decapitation line, avoid it, and try not to take a racing line that means you are going to be anywhere near the white line. And I'll probably reiterate that, actually, for the rest of this circuit. Now, if you want to get your knee down, there's a beautiful corner. Tarmac not looking so good, a bit worn out, but this is fantastic. Don't underestimate this, because there's a lot of people I see come off here, and I mean a lot. It's common. This is a common corner. This left-hander here, it drops down away from you. I see a lot of people going both ways fall off here. But like I say, beautiful bit of road. And as you come to the trees here, the surface changes, it's not as good. There's always a little bit of shit in the middle of the road. You've got that kind of under, I don't know, like your base coat of the tarmac showing, where obviously the grippy surface has worn away. And as you can probably tell by my voice, it's bumpy, so yeah, be mindful of that if you are gassing it. And here is a farm on your right, so obviously you're going to get stuff in the road. And we're turning right at the end of here. Sorry, yeah, when we turn right we head towards Towton, that's it. And another lovely piece of tarmac, really nice. And the reason why I say lovely tarmac, for me, lovely tarmac is you've got a little bit of a challenge, but you don't have junctions, you don't have traffic noise, let's say. So I mean, like pedestrians, cars pulling in and out, laybys, you know, all that sort of stuff. This right-hander catches people out as well if you're coming at a pace. So try not to go too bad. And again, I always avoid the decapitation line on this route. All of it I would suggest that for, because it's easy in a bike to think the road is quite wide, but in a car this is it's not too wide, if I'm honest. Now as we come round here, you've got to be careful, because you get people that are going to pull out. I'll thank him for not. And as we're coming up here, we're coming across an old battlefield. I believe the Battle of Towton, I don't know how you pronounce it. And it's quite a popular spot with people on the left as well. So you get cars parking up, coming out, you get people that have parked badly. And obviously all of this is really popular for cyclists, so just be mindful of that. If they're coming towards you, there might be someone overtaking them. You've been on a bike, drivers are assuming that you've seen them and that they can take the space, so they might cross over the white line. And obviously if you're approaching a cyclist, don't assume that they've heard you. They might have headphones in. And also don't assume that it's clear to pass. Anyway, less of the safety talk, more of the fun. Beautiful set of corners this. Got a couple of cyclists ahead, so I'm not going to go silly, not going to frighten them. I've got a bit of a loud exhaust on, and obviously as I'm coming up to a left-hander, I kind of need to be banking in, so it's a crest, so there could be anything. And this is the battlefield I was telling you about. Quite quiet. That was a lot quieter than normally. Normally you get a lot of people parked there. But again, another lovely piece of road. A little bit undulation, a little bit of undulation, should I say. It's not the smoothest tarmac, so might not be the best for everybody. I know some people like things to be like racetracks. It's definitely more A roads, you know, tight, twisty, flowing, where you can legally have fun. And what I mean by that is doing 40 to 60 mile an hour feels fast. So we're coming into Towton here, Towton, I don't know how you fucking say it. And again, it's a 30, please respect 30s on these kind of routes, because I don't want to publicise motorcycle routes that are really common and popular for people to come and just, I don't know what the right word would be, it's not abuse. Take the piss, isn't it? You know, be disrespectful of the people that live here that have to put up with this day in, day out. It's a popular spot, so you know you have to have a bit of consideration. I mean, there's obviously the argument that when you're viewing a house here, you're going to hear motorbikes going past unless it's middle of winter. Even in middle of winter, you're going to hear motorbikes going past. It is that popular, but yeah, try not to go blazing through. So we're coming into a national speed limit, and this bit we're turning right heading towards Ulaskelf. It's a bit of a hidden right-hander, I would say. We can see that van up ahead, just pulling out there. but that's where you're turning. Fast road, people always drive fast on this piece. Lot of police as well, so be mindful of that. And the road we're turning right onto, although it looks fairly straight on a map, it's a good road. Another really, honestly, underrated road. And obviously, again, loads of cyclists. Let's try and get past this Megane pretty early. There we go, beautiful. So it's quite twisty. You can see the road surface has got a little bit of glaze on it, a little bit of reflection, so it won't be as grippy. It's a nice day today, but in winter, if that's wet, I'd want to be in the middle of the road. And there is actually what I would call a jump rather than a crest on this piece. Again, not many junctions around here. There is a sign that says slope, and there is a junction on the left. I'll point it out to you. But if you want to go exceptionally fast down here, then just be mindful that in a minute it's going to bank to the left. There is a junction. It comes up on you very quick, and if you're going around there too fast and there's a car pulling out, they won't see you. You won't see them. So take that into consideration. And it's a popular area around here for horses. On the left there's the junction that I'm telling you about, which, there we go, there's your slow sign, and you see what I mean, the junction comes on you fast. If you stick it to the speed limit, not a problem, but if you're going over by 10-20 mile an hour, which is easy to do, you've got to accept it. You know, essentially it's illegal, but you've got to accept it. So bump there, that's not the jump. Uncomfortable bump. This is the jump. Go right and get the bike straight if you're going fast, and over you go, nice and easy. Lovely stretch of road. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a stately home back there, so that junction where people often catch you out if you're going a bit too quick. If you turn left through there, I can't remember if it says it's private or anything like that. I've driven through it, so I don't think it is. It's really pleasant. I mean, we're talking a 10 mile an hour road kind of thing. But it's, yeah, really pleasant, worth having a look. So we're in Ulaskelf, another 30 zone. We're crossing over a railway here. This is a really nice place, really nice place. I think the house prices here are one of those where, you know, you get a modest property for a lot of money. But yeah, lovely place. Bit of development going on to my right. So the next road we're about to turn onto, which is just left up here, I will warn you, it can catch you out because there are some very tight corners that are unannounced. The road is thin, so if there's someone coming the other way, there will be cyclists on this road. If you've seen a few tonight, I promise you, no matter what time you go on this, you'll see a few. So be respectful again. It's national speed limit. You don't have to do the limit of that to have fun on here, and you probably can't. And we're heading towards Corwood, C-A-W-O-O-D, Cawood, Corwood, I think it's Corwood. So yeah, this is another fantastic road. This is one of my favourite roads within only a few miles of Squires, and it's sensational. But depending on which way you come, just be warned, some of these corners will catch you out, and you'll see what I mean. So this one's not too bad, it does tighten on you, but this one, for example, is a sharp right, and we've got a van, so we're going to have to blip past him as quick as we can, because that's not pleasant. We don't want a van. And as we come around here, there's a really sharp right-hander as well. But yeah, there's a few that'll have you. And over on the left, there's the River Wharf. So if you decide to stop over and have a bite to eat at any of the places around here, you can have a little wander down there or a little picnic. Plenty of places to stop. But also a really good road because the visibility is fantastic. So you can use the majority of the road to flow. And again, I'm not speeding. I'm enjoying an enthusiastic pace. I'm not going to say it's slow, but I think it's very safe considered. You've got a car oncoming, but I've seen him miles away. Probably going to trim a little bit as he did. So just, yeah, be mindful of that, guys. You may see horses around here. There are signs and there are stables, but I very seldom see them. And I think that's because they know it's quite a fast road, traffic pace-wise. So I think they try and avoid it, if I'm honest. You don't see much horse muck on the road either. But yeah, fantastic piece of tarmac. And if you're into fishing, there's some holiday lodges by a fishing lake on here as well. Again, this is another bit where you don't want to be going too fast. You want to enjoy the road before you go too fast on it, because some of these corners don't look too bad, but they'll have you. And this is the one where it's a sharp left and a very sharp right. Probably a knee down corner if you want to be a bit enthusiastic. So just a bit on safety here. This is a common occurrence in these kind of roads. We're coming up to a tractor. Now he's turning right, which they always give you plenty of notice. But one thing I will say, the drivers behind do not give you notice when they're going to overtake. Now some drivers may be slightly to the right over, you know, with their right wheel a little bit close to the white line. Some drivers may just sit there. But my advice would be, given the kind of scenarios we find ourselves in as bikers, where you can overtake much easier than a car can because of just plain and simply the power and the agility of your bike, just make sure they know you're there. Make a bit of noise if you have to. Weave left to right. You know, as humans, we're attracted to movement, really. It might look daft, you know, doing stuff like this, but so what if they see you? If you are going to overtake a car behind a tractor, just make sure you're spotted. It's very easy to sit in someone's blind spot on a bike as well, because I mean, these roads are not that wide and we might be sat in the middle. People don't necessarily look at the rear view mirror. They probably won't look at the wing mirrors either. But again, this piece of road, I found it absolutely sensational. Obviously, this being a 30, you might think, it's boring, but I mean, look at the corners. It's not a 30 mile an hour corner. And then once you're on your lease back with nice open views, again, they can look miles over to my right. Straight back up to 60, loads and loads of visibility, loads of space. I know nobody's coming, there's no cyclists to frighten the hell out of. Absolutely wonderful. Obviously we've got a little bit of mud on the road, but it's dry, it's not too bad. We've got a car parked up and he's going to overtake, so we'll just slow down here. Oh, he's waiting for me. Always looking ahead though, always looking ahead. Thank him, I put my hand up, you can't see because of the camera. But yeah, that's one thing to remember, guys. Don't look at your nose, don't look at your front wheel, always look ahead, keep your head up. Save your life one day, I promise you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful corners. Not even doing 60. Fantastic. I don't know what police would say if they were behind me. I think they might get a bit upset, say I'm a bit enthusiastic. I don't know. Maybe a police officer might see the video and want to comment. I hope he does and says some positive stuff, otherwise I hope he doesn't. To the right is the fishing lake. I try and slow down past here. I'm not a fisherman really. I've done a bit of fishing. Or should I say I've put line in water and watched it bob around for a bit. I've not caught any fucking fish. Again, it's about the respect for everybody, sharing. So we've got cyclists 2 abreast. I know people get annoyed with that, but in these scenarios it's fine. Nothing wrong riding side by side. You weren't messing around, why? What dick? So this is Corwood. Now you can go left towards Stillingfleet, and it's again another really fantastic piece of tarmac, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to head right, just to show you this loop. Shall I go left? Shall I go left? Yeah, go on, I'll go left, and then I'll just come back on myself. word of warning if you're going left, there's a camera there on the sign telling you what to expect. The police love this bit of road on the left and on the right, and the reason for that is people go too fast. I have every faith in our traffic police in that they will allow you to have fun on a motorcycle. I genuinely don't think these guys are highly skilled, so they'll have a lot of things to say about my riding that would help me improve. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think if you ride enthusiastically and respectfully, essentially within the law, even if you've got you accelerate a bit hard, etc., in the right scenario where there are no footpaths, no pedestrians, no cyclists, horses, you've thought about it, you're giving space, and you're considerate and respectful, I genuinely feel that they would have nothing to say to you. But if you go on a straight, and this is a common one, like this, you bang it in a second, you get it on the back wheel, and you're doing triple figures, coming up to a cyclist, etc., they're going to have you. That being said, these bits of road here everybody abuses. They go way too fast on the straights because it's, let's face it guys, some of us are riding 200 horsepower motorbikes. This isn't, it's 100, and because of that we just wanted to concentrate. Yeah, because of that we can push the limit of what's fun. I think I think a 125 at slower speeds is more fun than say an S1000R at slow speeds. You probably agree, but you never know. Another beautiful left-hander, you can go around it at a right pace. So if you're on a 1000cc MotoGP spec bike on a road like that, doing 100 mile an hour is nothing. It's nothing. It's scratching the surface. But because of that scenario happening far too frequent, this is a road that is really common to find the speed camera van on. Again, another one for cyclists and horses. Less horses, more cyclists. But I am doing the speed limit, and you'll have fun, I promise you, on the twisties. They can be reserved on the straights. You'll have absolute fun on these twisties because it's not super grippy. I'm not going to say it's a super grippy, but it opens up, and the tarmac is grippy enough for you to have a bit of confidence. There are some corners that'll catch you out a little bit on here that tighten up. This one's, it shouldn't catch you out because there's warnings and everything, but it's a tight one. But back on the other road, they catch you out because they're kind of unannounced, whereas these ones kind of tell you they're coming. And this is a fantastic bit of road. And then this is one of those corners that it's not unannounced, but it'll catch you out a bit. It's a tight right-hander. It doesn't look as tight as it is, I don't think, but it'll catch you. Late apex kind of corner. You can see nothing's coming as you're going around it, so it's not too bad. And then we have a nice straight down into a 40. Now, as you could probably do a U-turn here and go back as you get to Stillingfleet, because the next part of the road is quite straight. Now I won't lie, I got caught speeding up here, and it was really dumb. It was really foolish. I don't know how I managed to do it. I was on my S1000RR at the time, which is it had carbon fibre wheels. It was modified to hell, and it wasn't sort of bike that doing 60 mile an hour on, it shouldn't have been difficult, is what I mean. It was a fast bike, but as in to stick to the speed limit, it shouldn't have been difficult. But I had literally just, when you sat thinking like, oh yeah, I'll have this for tea, or I'm going to do this tomorrow, or I'll do that, and I'd seen the van, I'd seen it miles away. I knew it was there, and I looked down and I was doing 70 odd, and I got done for doing 76, which, fair enough. I should have paid more attention, but it goes to show, doesn't it, how easy it is. Essentially 20 mile an hour over the limit on the bike, but obviously because of the speedo correction, I got reported for a little bit lower. But yeah, that annoyed me, did that, I won't lie, because I consider myself to be an attentive rider. Oh dear, I still have fun, as you can see. So anyway, this is the bit I'm probably going to chop a bit of this out of the video. I'm probably talking to myself here, so I'll cut this, and I'll the next bit you'll see is me coming back through Stillingfleet. So, if you're wondering why the video editing's gone dodgy, I decided that the bit I've just done was pretty boring. It's pretty boring, I won't lie. Unless you want to go set a top speed record. It's just a dead straight road. Quiet though. We're going back now. We've just turned round essentially from Stillingfleet, and we're going to go back to Corwood. And I love this piece of road. We might be able to get past this car before it gets a bit undulating. Don't want him to impede me too much. Because you can see it's nice and open, so I think I can go. That's it. Lovely. Heading into the sun, obviously not the best thing. I've got a bit of a tint on the visor, so it's not too bad. Now this corner, coming the other way, feels good. Going this way, it can make you run wide a little bit. Obviously tightens up kind of on what you'd class as a karting line, I think they'd call it. So, but anyways, it's beautiful. But again, don't forget with these guys, you're not taking racing lines, you're not taking karting lines, because the roads are thin. They don't look it, and the GoPro will make it even worse. But in a car, you are kind of wing mirror to wing mirror from the white lines, and people will be on your side of the road if there's a cyclist, anything, etc. So you don't want to be like here, no way. You want to be well in the middle, if not slightly to the left. So this is following round to the right. You can turn left or go straight on, it kind of is, but it's a left. And if you go that down there, it's another really nice run. Well, it's not what I'm showing you today. So we're heading back towards Corwood Bridge, where I made the split decision to digress from what I'm calling the TT, the Squires Cafe TT that is, and I took us left. Now we're going back that way, I'll point it out. And again, this stretch of road all the way to Squires, be mindful of the police and the speed camera vans. Don't try and trick you. I can assure you they put them in places that are sensible. And they are fair, I can assure you. And I might be praising the police a bit in this video, but I'm not a police officer. I just think they are, thank you, let me go, that's rare. They are very fair with what they do. Thank Tim. And again, I think the only reason why this bit is so heavily policed is because it's very popular for people who visit the area to go too fast. So we turned left there on my right, where obviously we would have turned right. So now it's assumed we have turned right there. This bit again is very tight. There's a couple of speed bumps, so you want to keep left. People come through here very quick. It's a 30, and it's a small town. Kids play around here, etc. We've got a lady walking a dog, you know, that kind of stuff. So try not to take the Michael. Beautiful little area though, isn't it? Oh, get in. I was going to overtake him on the straight, I was getting ready, but that's even better. Beautiful. So a nice clear run. Now this road is a lot faster than all the other ones we've done in terms of how it flows, or it feels slower when you're doing the speed limit, should I say. But again, don't get carried away on this one. There are more junctions into the road, so, you know, houses, etc., roads, turn-offs. And a lot of them, if you're going in this direction, are on the left, so they can catch you out. So just be wary of that. Don't let the speed creep up too much. it's very well signed. You know, you can read the road well, but it's an inviting road. It screams, you know, like, come on, let's have some speed out here. So just be diligent. Like this corner, this left, it's not even a tight left. It kind of signposts as if to say it's a drastically tight one. That obviously goes to show us because a lot of people come flying up to it and think, fuck. It is national speed limit again, and I think 60 is a suitable speed. I mean, you could probably do 80 on here quite safely, but that is illegal, obviously. So there's a nice sign telling you on the left there is a junction. But they're hidden. They're definitely not as easy to spot. This is another lovely left-hander. Really nice corner. You could go at this with a rate of knots if you fancy it. Now, as we come round here over this bridge, there is a junction. So if you are giving it death, mindful, you might want to slow down. It's a crossroad. It's very visible, so people should be able to see you. But if there's a tractor pulling out, etc., that is going to go a bit slow, it might catch you out. This is the junction I'm talking about. And this road on the left, actually, to Selby, that's a really pleasant road. I will cover that in one of my other routes. I actually really like that when it goes through the woods. Nice change of scenery. So that little bit there, like I say, it's quite inviting. It encourages you to go quite fast. So if you can just, you know, maybe if you've gone the other way and you know that it's safe to on a quiet day to kind of go a little bit more enthusiastically than on your head beer. But now it goes back to being a bit more twisty. It feels faster, even though you're doing the same speed, and it goes back to being a nice, more complex, exciting bit of tarmac. And then after this, we're pretty much back at Squires, and that's what I would call the Squires TT. Now, obviously, what you can do when you get to Sherburn and Helmet is take a right towards Towton or Towton and do the circuit again if you want. You can do a U-turn and go back the other way, because the road that we've just come from, that went from Ullerskelf to Corwood, going from Corwood to Ullerskelf it's a new road, you know, it's fantastic. So enjoy. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you managed to see the roads for what they are, and of course please subscribe, please comment. It makes my day if I see that I've got more subscribers, or someone's commented to say that they have something to say about the video, whether good or bad. You know, I can take it. I can take a bit of criticism, but I will let the video continue up to Squires. I might edit it out. Anyway, it depends on the GoPro battery. The GoPro batteries, well, the GoPros are terrible. Everybody loves them. I don't know why. They're bloody shit. But they're too expensive for me to just go and buy something else. So I'll get a Drift Ghost eventually, I think. Now I think this is clear. Let's have a look. Let's get her in third before. Oh, beautiful. We'll have that. But yeah, the road from Sherburn to Squires is really fantastic. It's tiny. It's a really short stab. But if you're staying over the night at Squires and your mate's come on his bike and you want to have a go at it, it's got everything you need to give it a 10-minute test. Definitely. But yeah. For me, I'm really lucky to live where I live. I think for these kind of roads. Where have these bumps come from? Bloody hell! Get back over there. So I get to come out on an evening and have a nice bit of stretch of the throttle, let's say. And I come out here all the time, so if you guys are ever heading to Squires and you want to say hello, or you want me to give you some routes that I've not posted up yet, because I know some that, you know, full days that start and end in Squires, because I literally live 10 or 15 minutes away. I can share with you all sorts, send you the maps, etc. Or if you want me to guide you, you know, if you want me to come out for a day and you're coming over on a weekend or an evening, I'll come out with you, have a run with you. I'm happy riding at any pace, unless you know, Bruce Lee it through I couldn't tell if that was oil on the road or diesel then. Yeah, unless you're going to Bruce Lee it through all the speed cameras, speed limits. But it's interesting because I've got a Triumph Tiger. I used to have a Harley Davidson Fat Bob. I bought it early this year, and I won't lie, I absolutely love the bike. But I'm the sort of person that I'm a bit of a hoarder in terms of when I buy stuff. It takes me a year to decide whether I like it or not. And I sold it within about 3 months, and there was a couple of reasons really. I mean, this isn't going to turn into a review of the Fat Bob. I mean, Harley Davidson as a company have been struggling, so they've kind of tried to change the direction. The reason why I'd imagine they're struggling is because their bikes are just far too expensive, and the ones that are cheaper are just unappealing. They do different types that, I mean, the 48s, the Sportsters they call them, the 883s, 1200s, they are fantastic bikes, they're lovely, and I went to take one out on a test drive, but I didn't fit. I'm only 6'2", which, I mean, some people might think, oh, 6'2", but you know, there's some monsters out there, and I genuinely just did not fit on the bike. I'm not saying I couldn't ride it, but it was horrible. So then I took out a Softail, which fit me really nice. It was just two knuckles in the wind kind of cruiser, and that doesn't suit me. Some people would love that. And then I took out the Fat Bob, the 114 Milwaukee 8 engine it has, which is a 1.8 litre with so much torque. It's honestly sensational, absolutely sensational. And it was really good to ride, but I don't go around corners like an idiot. I know that. I've done a few different riding courses over the years. I don't have lots of points. I don't get in trouble for lots of things. And the truth is, you couldn't go around a corner enthusiastically and feel comfortable. And it wasn't anything to do with the handling. You just could not lean the bike over enough. I scraped the pegs. I hit the stand, all sorts, and it was just, I don't know, it just put me off. So that was one thing. So if you, like I say, if you're not like me and you are a slower rider, because as I say, I'm not necessarily a fast rider on the roads, it probably is a good bike. But also, I do a lot of mileage when I go out. This is, you know, one of those times where I've decided to come out for a really short blip on an evening, but on the weekend I'm sort of up in the morning and I won't be back till late at night. I always get in trouble with the missus because I say I'd be back at 4 or 5 and I end up back at 8, 9. But so what? Fucking hell, I'm out, I'm enjoying myself, why not? And the sad thing about the Fat Bob is it didn't have the fuel tank. It's not a 10 litre tank really, but that's what it feels like. You know, you put 10, 12 quid in it and it just was rubbish. And if you're hammering it, like, the best thing about the Harley is the torque. So you're not speeding, and when I say hammering it, I don't mean speeding and going so fast that it's, you know, you're breaking laws, but going from 0 to say 70 onto the motorway as you come onto a slip road, it was awesome to just absolutely rip it through. It really was awesome. But then you're just absolutely destroying the amount of miles per gallon you get. Now, it does have some good features on it, but the nail in the coffin was when I found out that the bike has cruise control built into it, ready to go. But if you want to put it on, you need to buy the switch gear, which in car culture, that's pretty normal. You know, you buy them as extras. And even in bikes, I guess that probably is the norm. But the bike is so expensive, and Harley Davidson have been struggling. They've been trying to kind of change the brand, that it really just upset me that they wanted 300 quid for some switchgear that had the buttons on for the cruise control. So that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, and I just thought, you know what, I'm selling it. You know, I needed a pillion seat for the missus to come on the back because the one that was on it as standard was just terrible. She's only tiny. You know, you couldn't fit an arse cheek on it. and they wanted 600 quid because it wasn't a split seat, so I had to buy my own seat, and I had to buy her a seat. She wanted a sissy bar, so by the time I'd sort of priced it all up, we were looking at £1,000 for a seat, essentially. Which, you know, alright, if you've got a lot of money and your only bike is a Harley, fair enough. It's probably not even that expensive, but I just couldn't afford that. I can get past these, I think. So yeah, I sold it. Was I sad to see it go? No, which is strange for me. I normally am. Would I buy another Harley? Yes. I need to earn a bit more money though, and I'll be honest, guys, I'm not blowing my trumpet or anything like that, but I work full time in a your regular kind of job. I'm not a minimum wage, which you would think if you're working full time and you spend all your money on a motorcycle, you should be able to afford a Harley Davidson. You know, if it's your number one hobby, that's kind of what you expect. I can't, and I'm happy to say that to people. I'm no shame in saying I can't afford something. I just fucking cannot. Way too expensive. Anyway, if you've watched till the end, thank you. We're back. It's pretty busy actually. It was nice to be back. It's been closed for so long. It's been a bit of a pain in the ass. I've not been in for a coffee for a while, so I might do that. But yes, that is the Squires TT. If you've never been to Squires, you've got to get yourself over, I reckon, because it's fantastic. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe as always. Comment, la di da di da, blah blah blah. You know it. Anyway, catch you in a bit.